everyone, welcome to another episode of Away with Words, the podcast. It's your girl Bree Stories.
It's Aja Nalasia.
And it's A Tati.
And we have a special guest. We are here with Jenn of Black Inck Crew Chicago. You all know the drill, I'm sure, just by looking at what's going on up in here. So if you are in Away with Words, the podcast stan, if those exist, you know that we had a little space and time where we were doing a lot of Black Inck Crew Chicago coverage. Never got around to our girl Jenn, but it's never too late. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming. So we're gonna start with a check-in, and you're gonna fit right into it.
Okay.
We'll do it first, and then you'll fit right in.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Okay.
Physically, I feel hot,
Yeah.
which is caused by me being a little anxious. Am I
Ooh.
doing it
This
right?
is good. This is good.
Is
Go
that
ahead.
right the way to
Yeah,
right
so
way to do
emotionally
it?
you're feeling anxious?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So proud of myself.
I love
it. And I think that stems just because like I'm getting ready to go out of town. So
Yeah.
like I'm really like a little kid. Like I packed my bag already and everything. I'm not leaving until next Sunday, but I've like laid out my outfits and everything.
It's cute.
And like I'm going to get like all my toiletries and stuff. I just don't get out much. So
That's what it really is.
that's what my attention is also on. And spiritually, I feel good spiritually, but I also feel like I am lacking because I haven't been to church and I haven't watched church like the service either. So like I feel good spiritually, but I know that I also need to just like close this little gap.
Get back on your routine.
Yeah. So that's how I feel.
Hey, Tati.
Physically, I feel hungry.
Mm.
I felt like I was being real cute about it, and I was like, I'm just grabbing some strawberries, some blueberries,
Right.
and I'm gonna be good to go. And I'm not good to go, so I'm a little hungry. Emotionally, I feel. I actually feel a little anxious too.
Oh, tell us why.
I feel like something is about to happen in a sense. Like I don't know where a change is about to come. I don't know if it's gonna come romantically, financially, or personally, like within my family. But I just feel like something is about to change. Like I feel something happening. Like I've been preparing for it subconsciously.
I love this.
So I'm just like waiting
Yeah.
for the other foot to drop.
Yeah.
Like there it
Right
is.
now.
Knew it was
Yeah.
coming.
Right.
My attention is on.
Getting flued out.
Been that shit over on the game.
Are you kidding me?
No. I was like, no. What is my attention? You know what? Okay, my attention is on the Millennium Tour because they keep posting little clips and stuff of them in rehearsals.
Oh, I haven't
and
seen it.
yeah, it's
Any?
just making me.
You didn't see that the one on Mario posted? Oh, girl.
Yeah, it's just getting me because I feel like I might have said this before. I don't know if I said this here or if I just said it like talking to y'all.
Yeah.
But I was always going from jump just
Yeah.
because I'm a fan and I was just excited. It was almost like I didn't even really care what they did. I just knew I wanted to be in the building.
Right.
Yeah, but now that like I've been seeing clips, like I'm looking like, oh no, this is gonna be
A
a
show.
real show. Like y'all
I'm
was
excited.
dead ass. So I'm
so
excited.
excited.
I'm excited. And spiritually, I just feel present.
I like that. Thank you. Physically, I'm feeling not horny, but hornish. You know,
Hornish?
like there's a little something, but it's not really like there yet. Physically, emotionally,
What is it gonna take for it to fully serve?
Right.
I feel like it's gonna take for us to get this out of it.
Get ahead of it.
I feel like if I took another shot, it would be like full blown.
I
Like,
get that.
But no, it has.
I mean, do you want to be like that at this
You know.
moment?
no, I mean like I'm always down for that. Like I'm really into just listening to my body. Like my body is bleeding, so it's like okay, so I just listen to what's happening. So it's like tingling up in my uterine area, but not quite in my lips. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like it's up there. It's in that region, but it's not in there. That's physically. Emotionally, I'm feeling a lot of joy and just also like I've never liked the term content, but I'm really starting to appreciate contentment and just the act of being like truly just like, okay, like this, I'm comfortable, like I'm satisfied, I'm in need of nothing else. So I really am appreciative of that.
Maybe you're at peace.
Right, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Because I used to have a negative thought about what it meant to be content, because it means like, to me, I thought it meant like you're not striving.
Yeah, that's
right.
what I feel that.
Like you're just
that.
comfortable, and it's just like, but are you trying to grow? Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But like now, I'm starting to really understand what it is to be content, and that's exactly what it is. It's just at peace. So that's what I'm feeling emotionally. My attention is currently on. I've been getting a lot of inspiration between. Yesterday was a fantastic event that we had at Moment Studios, and I've just been very inspired. So I want to make sure that I set some goals for the rest of the week to just try to make sure that I hone in on just actually creating, like, you know, like really planting these seeds. That is my attention. And spiritually, I feel prepared. I feel spiritually prepared. All right.
Okay, I think I got them down.
Yeah.
Physically, emotionally.
What your attention is on?
Attention and spiritual.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, girl. Peace.
So physically, I'm feeling a little bubbly.
Nice.
Right. I went out last night, so
Ooh.
you know. So then coming in here with y'all had me like that shot we took.
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling myself. So,
Yes, I love it.
So physically, I am feeling bubbly.
I like that.
Emotionally. Emotionally.
Let it out, girl. Tell us.
Emotionally, I'm feeling, I don't know, a little bit confused, maybe. A little confusion with my emotions, you know. When sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down, but right now I'm feeling pretty good. So, but you know, whatever. So attention.
Yes, what your attention is on.
My attention is on self-care right now. I'm trying to get just completely rejuvenated from the inside out. So I just want to just take a moment to just take care of myself, from my hair to my nails, you know, to my clothes, just my mind, body, and spirit. So and spiritually, I feel really connected.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a place where God is showing me that, you know, since I have faith in Him, the things that I have aligned for my life, He is showing me that these things are falling into place. It may not be exactly what I want them to be, no matter how much I pray on it, but, you know, it's happening. I'm seeing it every day. So.
I love that. You seem very in tune. You seem like you're in a very in tune space right now.
What's your sign?
Aries. My birthday, March 25th.
Yeah, awesome. So. Right in Women's History Month, all of that, while you're being a boss.
Hello, it's the perfect time.
I love that. I love that. So, those of us who are familiar with the show and just like with your storyline, we thought that it was like really interesting. So I'll give you like a little bit of background on my thought process about these things. I'm getting to a point where first of all, I have to learn, and I am learning that people's thoughts and opinions can coexist with mine. Because I'm always kind of like a nigga in my mind, where I'm just like, girl, like, you got everything you want. Like, you got a man. Like, why does it have to be having a man in this way, you know? But I've come to realize that when you're sure about what you want, it is imperative that you get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's imperative that you listen to the fact that that's what you want and that's what you get. So I know that you probably, like, have a lot of different... Like, you have eyes on you and a lot of different people having their thoughts and opinions about what it is for you to be in your relationship and for you to know that you want to be a wife, and you don't have like all this interest in just being someone's girlfriend or just being so what do you feel like, especially with you going through it personally, what do you feel like how long is the wait? Okay, so let me just clear this up. Yes. There's a heavy, misconception that I just want to be married. Right. I'm not really thirsty to be married. I'm thirsty for the progression. You got to understand, yes, me and Van has been together for a long time, 10 years almost. Yeah. Like, it's knocking on 10 years. But he caught me at 20, so he kind of got my good years, but
as far as like being married and being with somebody that long, that to me don't necessarily equate to being married, you know. But I do love him, you know. But at the end of the day, for me, it's like I'm just interested in the progression.
Yeah.
Where are we going at this point? You know, I've been your girlfriend, so what's next? You know, I mean, obviously the next step would be marriage, and so that's why in my mind it's like, where's the ring?
Right.
But I mean, are we about to start a business together?
Right.
Are we, what are we talking about? Like, what are we doing right now? You know, and that's kind of the space that I was kind of in for a while.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even to put pressure on him either about marriage. It's just so I'm not about to let you take all my good years and then all my turn up years as well. My party years, my good years, you know, you're not going to have the rest of my life if you don't see me being with you for the rest of your life, right?
Right.
So it kind of come down to that.
I've never heard it put like that, and I actually love that. Like, just about being thirsty for progression and like not being willing to be stagnant, not being willing to be like, this is how it's always been. Because I feel like a lot of people get caught up in, well, this is how it's always been. So it's like, it's whatever. But if you don't want to grow, then that's just as toxic as me wanting to be married and you not wanting to marry me.
I mean, I'm kind of scared about marriage too.
Yeah.
30 is still kind of young to be like
It's very
married.
young.
Like,
It's very young.
I mean, I have a couple more years in me, but like
Yeah.
I said, you know, progression is the key.
So do you feel like if you felt comfortable in the relationship, if you felt like you guys were progressing and were, you know, like striving, you just felt like you guys were like reaching goals and working together and being great partners, but there was still like no talk of marriage though, you would still be like happy with that though? You would be...
No. There better be talk. There better be talk.
Yeah,
And we talk heavy. Like our everyday conversation, you know, was like, what are we doing, you know, about our future? We talk about our life like that, as if we already know this is where we're going.
Yeah.
But to me, I mean, you can only talk so long.
Right.
So do you have like I know a lot of women be like, well, girl, if you don't propose to me in like 3 years and I'm gone. Like, do you, I see that like, especially in like our generation, I feel like, I'm only gonna be dating a nigga for 2 years. Like, and that you can't possibly know somebody for real in 2 years to like, they could still be wearing a mask. You can't know everything about them in 2 years.
But I think that's circumstantial.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because some people meet somebody in one day and feel
ready.
like,
well,
and feel like I know him. This is my soulmate. You know,
right? But those are the exceptions, not the rules.
But I do think that that's interesting though, because we were just talking about this yesterday, I think, and I think that the timeline or having it in your head, like if I'm out in the wind, right? Like I don't really care to be married, you know, like I don't see that for myself. I feel like if anything, I want to love someone so much and have that person love me so much that we are both inspired to do that. Like like I don't, if that's not it, then I don't need that. But for someone who knows I want to be married, I think that it does kind of make sense to have it in your mind as far as like, maybe not full blown, you better be on your knee 2 years from today, but like if in 2 years you and I are not on, like we're not conjoined in that thought, then I think that a woman who knows that she wants to be married should move around.
I mean, what do you do when you are conjoined in that thought and then you're like the one doing the waiting? Because for me, I'm kind of a traditional. I'm not going to do nothing to be like, marry me, but be who I am to you. And when that time comes for us, then you'll know, as, you know, being the head of the household or being the man or, you know, and if you're just kind of taking forever to do that, then you know, that's a conversation to be had as well. You know, it's not necessarily like, you know, when you're in a relationship that it's not there. Like the talk is there, but where's the action? And that is, you know, that's when you start bringing up ultimatums in.
That does matter how long the talk has been happening. Like that does matter, because if you, like you said, you've almost been in a relationship for 10 years. So say if I'm like year 5, we were talking and we're like, yes, this is what I want. I'm gonna marry you. This is the end. And then if 5 years later, you're like, yeah, that's still the plan.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I see what you mean. It's kind of like, okay, so we talked about that last year. Like, okay.
And I would imagine that would be like super frustrating. Like, I'm gonna marry you. I'm gonna marry you. I'm gonna marry you. We like,
Just do it.
When? Like,
Especially like, I'm not changing.
Yeah.
Like, this is it.
Whatever you're waiting on is
right.
like, isn't gonna
It's
come.
not gonna-
That's
yeah,
what happen. Do you feel like there's, and I don't know if it's just like also like the plight of being a man and not really feeling like you have a true space to even assess your own thoughts and emotions, let alone like really let them out to someone else. Do you think that there are deeper fears that you don't know about or that you haven't known about throughout the relationship that's like kind of keeping this prolonged?
Like, what do you mean?
Like maybe he's telling you like, you know, I'm just not ready or whatever those conversations look like. But do you think that there's something deeper that maybe he doesn't know about? Like maybe he isn't sure why he's not ready.
Like I said, we kind of. I mean, for me personally, 20 years old and getting in a relationship and being committed in that relationship for as long as it's been, that still to me doesn't necessarily say marriage material.
Right.
You know,
Right.
20, like in my 20s, those are the times that you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have those makeups to breakups and stuff like that. And even something that I kind of explained, you know, to Van, like there was a time period, say in the 10 years of being together, at 20, right? We gonna play, do whatever for however long, and say 5 years into that, we're like, okay, now we're serious.
Right.
Now it's us. You know,
Right,
and however you like equate that in your life or whatever, it doesn't have to be like we out here playing and get these games in the streets and now we gonna, you know, get serious. It's more so now we're more in tune with what we want in our lives.
What it is to be in a relationship.
And it's like now let's start thinking about that. So in the 10 years of, you know, even being with him, I'll put a strong 5 years on the table of being like, now, you know, now let's talk about, you know, what are our plans for the future? You know, are we thinking about a house? Are we going to move out of state eventually in life? You know, we're thinking about our life moving forward in a sense, and it doesn't have to necessarily be about marriage. It's more so about us, like you said, is what as far as how you look at yourself, you know. And I don't know, I just kind of look at it like at the end of the day, it doesn't have to necessarily be a end goal just to both be on a path somewhere. You know?
Have you ever felt like, you know, people joke about that whole reality TV curse? Like, like they'll joke about like relationships not lasting once they get on TV. Have you felt like since you guys have been on TV and gotten this fame, have you felt like it's hurt or helped or not changed the relationship at all?
No, it really hurts the relationship in a sense to me because you have so many other people involving themselves and telling you what they think should happen. You know, you should be doing this and what about this and bringing you information. It's like when you're not on TV or you're not in a public relationship or you're not, the public eye don't see your relationship. It's easier for you all to work things out. It's easier to, you know, figure out what's the next steps. But when it's a million people constantly rehashing certain situations, it kind of, you know, it could be detrimental to a relationship. So I totally believe in that curse. Like, either you're going to really be a strong couple where you're making it and you're figuring out, you know, all these different steps, or it could become too much and...
Right. So it'll make or break you. Is what you're saying.
Right. Do you ever feel like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have shared that about my relationship? Do you like, or are you just like, they seen it, and that is what it is?
I mean, the streets be talking, so it's like once you in it, you in it. You know, I can't just go hang out at a little kickback. Somebody in that room gonna recognize me. So once you in, you in.
So, do you have any places now where, especially now because y'all have been doing this for a while, like, do you, especially in your relationship, do you two talk about ways to draw lines or like where to put up boundaries or, you know, like, I would imagine that if I was in a public relationship, I would want something set, like especially if we like live together. I would want it to be like in these four walls. We're not talking about nothing in those comments. We're not talking about nothing in like. Have you put anything in place to try to like put that at bay?
You might want to say put your phone down at
Right.
dinner or something like that.
Right.
But this is your life.
Yeah.
You know, a comment being left up too long about something crazy or somebody trying to spill some beans on you. If you don't catch certain things, if you're not in the know about what's being said about you, that could also make or break you. Like, the people make you famous, not really you.
Right.
So if you don't respect what the people are thinking in a certain sense, then that could also be a whole nother monster. You know, so for us, it just kind of gets to a point where I want to have my own personal time, and with that, it may not be friends, may not come over. You know, we may not, like you said, talk about the show or talk about business per se, but you know, what are your next steps? What are your, you know, in the next 6 months, what else you have planned? But we're not talking about, oh, today I have to go order these shirts, you know, like, so it's kind of a different level to it a little bit, but you always want to keep the communication open, you know? So I don't know, that's kind of how I feel. It don't really bother me like that.
Well, that's good. So what's next? What is on the horizon?
Well, currently I am dabbling into fashion a little bit. You know, I'm going to kind of keep it. It's my little baby. I'm still pregnant with it, you know. So I don't want to talk too much about it, but you can, you know, expect something, you know, in the future with that.
Perfect.
I'm currently trying to be more involved with a non-for-profit agency called A Knock at Midnight. It's actually someone in my family has this non-for-profit, so I've been really invested into it for a couple of years. But now I just feel like because I have this platform where my words could be heard a little further, I want to be able to reach out to a different crowd of people.
Of
you
course.
know, it won't be the elite, it won't be the bougie, uppity people, you know, per se. You know, I want to find a place where the common people or the average people can have a voice, where those people are also heard as well.
Yes.
And so being kind of invested into this outreach program, it kind of made me feel right at home when I'm there. You know, they look at me like, oh my God, Jennifer. And I'm looking at them like, okay, what you got going on? Or what you got going on, you know? So it's kind of a two-way street for me. I love giving back. It makes me feel good. And so because this is someone that, you know, I know this is my family, it to me only makes sense to kind of invest in that starting off. So that's kind of where I am with that.
And what kind of work are they doing at A Knock at Midnight?
Like I said, they have a bunch of different outreach programs, after school programs, counseling, you know, anger management, you know, just
very important.
Yeah, so it's a lot of different programs like that. They're really heavily connected with a bunch of different public schools. So yeah.
So fashion and like community outreach. Have you found yourself like finding different passions other than those two since you've been
my
in the limelight?
My daughter is knocking on being a teenager.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, if y'all got any kids or not, but that is
a baby.
that is a whole different game for me. I am completely out of my element. So I am so thirsty to read books on, you know, preteens and what to expect and all of that. And she's just becoming her own person. So I'm really kind of going on this little path to get her exactly where I want it to be. And it's past like just motherhood for me.
How has your daughter handled like the fame? So she hasn't been on the show, right? Does she want to be? Like, how have you guys?
She is a mini me for real.
Really? Okay.
No filter though.
Yeah.
Like, so it's really like a part of me want to kind of keep her in the back.
Right.
But a lot of it is I want to make sure she stay protected. You know, she's only 12. I don't want to expose her to too much. She just kind of started watching the show a little bit. And so it came to her, it first started off with her looking at little YouTube clips. And now she's like, okay, so the newest episode, what happened and what are you going to tell me? And, you know, like even trying to have those conversations with her kind of get a little challenging. But,
So you would rather keep her off the show?
I would prefer to keep her off the show, but I don't necessarily want to hide her, you know. So I love the fact that people are starting to kind of know that I have a daughter.
Yeah.
You know, it also opens the door for her to kind of get opportunities. She's a dancer. She loves to dance.
Yeah.
I do that because she wants to be a dancer, but she don't necessarily want to do the work. She don't know how hard and how much dedication it takes. Yeah. So right. So I mean, I just kind of want to protect her in that type of way. So that's the only reason she hasn't really been introduced to the show in that way.
Yeah.
But
that makes sense though.
Yeah.
I would be.
It's less scary.
Yeah, I would
The
be.
reality world is
definitely afraid of that. But okay.
People don't really care about the kids like that. They'll still go in on your kids.
Oh,
They'll try to follow your kids.
Yeah.
All type of crazy
nothing's
stuff.
off limits.
Nothing.
Which is
Nothing,
insane.
no
Like,
one. As long as you're a public figure,
Yeah.
and once you're on TV, you're considered a public figure. So they'll be like, "Well, she was on TV,
Right.
So
They
she opened it up.
right.
She wanted
They
us
don't
to talk
think
about
that you're
her."
human anymore
Yeah.
after that. It gets to a point where it's like, oh, since you're famous or since you're a celebrity or whatever, since I know about your information, everybody else knows about it. That means I could tell you about yourself.
Right.
You know, you're not that connected as you may
Do
think.
you feel like a celebrity?
I mean, I do feel like my popularity is growing. At first, it's like, is that fan girlfriend? Well, people just stare me down, like, it's not her. You know, but now it's like, hey, Jen, can I take a picture, Jen?
Right.
So, I mean, I don't necessarily feel like I'm famous, but I do feel
That's
like
an
my
interesting
popularity.
transition, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
If I got on TV, I'd be extra. I'd have on sunglasses everywhere and be like
Walking into places like, no, it's not me. No, it's
I know
not.
what you're thinking. It's not me.
I know what you're thinking.
It is. I mean, that whole thing is scary though. Like, even I think about YouTube videos that have gone quote unquote viral for us, and like the fact that people still comment, and you know, a lot of times seeing shit that like people will just say anything. Like people really think that Tati is a bitch.
They think we're lovers too. They think they be like,
they think we're lesbians. Like, just you know, so
that's another thing. Because you know, she was just saying people think I'm a bitch, right?
Yes.
Are you though?
No,
Okay.
I'm not. But
she's like, let's clear
being
that.
on this show and being able to watch myself, I have been able to see like my facial expressions or see certain things that I'm doing and be like, oh, okay. Like,
That's
I see why y'all would think that. So do you ever watch yourself back on TV and be like, oh, okay, maybe I see why y'all thought I was crazy that day or something? Or are you like, nah, y'all
I'm super friendly. I'm super friendly. You know, my friends actually hate that about me. They're like, stop talking to them people. You don't know them. You know, but it's like, stay on my good side.
Yeah.
Because my bad side is real bad, you know? So they actually are capturing these bad moments, you know? So
deliberately.
it's like, yes, but it's like, let's cut out all the good stuff.
Right.
Let's show all the, you know, but I mean, at the end of the day, the undertone of who I am a strong person. I'm not to be messed with.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not for none. So I don't necessarily care that people, you know, see what they see on the show. Like if I'm turning up or if I'm getting into a little situation.
Yeah.
Because when you meet me in person, you know, you'll know that I'm a genuine person. I'm not a bully.
Right.
I'm not out here putting my hands on nobody. I am in a 30s club, baby. I do not want no scratches. I don't, you know.
No, right?
Like, I don't bounce back that well anymore. So I don't want to be in a situation where, you know, I'm out here doing nothing crazy. So
That's so real.
What's a clip from the show that people come up and say like, girl, when you did that, you was like,
I got a few. One of the most popular ones is when I jumped in the pool.
Okay, yeah. My mama actually loves that. She cracked up.
Yeah, so that's probably one of my most popular ones.
Yeah. That is so
That's hilarious. That's so funny. I'm just envisioning it in my head. Like, you did do that.
like that definitely happened.
And that was all, you know, that's another thing. So people always think, like, that was fake. Like, she didn't, it's like somebody told her to go jump in that pool. Like, that's all.
She's
that's
like,
all
no.
Jen.
No.
That's all Jen.
He was not about to be living his best life in Jamaica. No, he really tried it. Really? You're making me really think back to it. No, he really did not.
I love that. Well, this has been perfect. Please tell everybody where they can find you if they stupid.
Well,
Just kidding.
well, on Snapchat and Instagram, you can find me at Jenn Love You 2. It's JENNLUVU and the number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So cute. And we're going to be looking out for all of the things that you have going on. And
Yes.
super proud of your progression.
Thank you.
And for you just staying level-headed in this reality world, because I know it's wild. Thank you so much for coming. And please make sure that you follow us on all the places to be followed. You can follow us at _YayMash on Instagram. You can follow me. Oh, make sure that you're subscribed right here on the YouTube channel as well for when we have guests like Jenn and we give you the visuals. You can follow me at Bree.Stories on Instagram and at Bree_Stories on Twitter and at A_Tati on Instagram and at Hey Tati on Twitter and at Ajano Asia everywhere. Yes, everywhere. And be sure to follow at MJM Kid and at Moments Stew for all of your photography and videography needs if you are in the Chicagoland area. And we will talk to y'all later. Everybody say bye.
Bye.